What's up guys? Welcome to another episode of Pan the Organizer. This is product haul number 5, a series of videos in which I do an unboxing of many car detailing products, tools, and equipment, and I go basically over all of them to give you things that you want me to test in the future and give you my opinion on, things that you've requested in many of the comments in different videos on my channel, or things that I think might interest you. So we're covering a lot of cool stuff like entry-level machine polishers to air fresheners and car deodorizers, a bunch of different chemicals to do different detailing steps, and some other tidbits of tools and equipment that might be of high interest to you so you can take your detailing game to the next level, of course. A quick disclaimer, this is not a sponsored video, and also I'll leave all the tools, products, and equipment linked in the description under this video for you guys to check them out. So as usual, all you have to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So let's dive right into it. I'll be going over all the tools, products, and equipment once again, one by one, giving a few features, but I remind you, most of them, these are still new to me. So I received all of these things that I ordered myself to be able to test in the future. There's a few stuff that I've already started playing with in the past months, but I haven't necessarily made a video on yet. So the goal here is, first of all, I want to have your opinion. If there's anything in here that you've already tested, leave some comments in the comment section about your thoughts, your opinions, your experiences with this. Not only do I like to read your comments and reply to them, but also it's good for the culture out there, all my viewers and subscribers. We have this exchange between the Pan the Organizer family, and everybody gets to have different opinions on topics and things so we can all make better purchasing decisions. Also, let me know which ones are your favorites that you'd want to see in future videos, and the ones that are most popular, I'll do a focus on, right? So let's start with entry-level machine polishers. So I'm lucky enough to have pretty much every single polisher on my polishing rack in my garage, especially in the high end, because I like a lot of those things. So I look here quickly. I have Flex polishers, Rupes polishers, I have Milwaukee, I have, just a bunch of different brands. I tend to prefer the higher end stuff because I've been detailing now for like 27 years. So you kind of build up to the best of the best, right? You don't necessarily have to start with the most expensive. And this is where polishers like these guys come in. So this is a brand that's newer to me. This is Shinemate. So Shinemate are made in China. However, my understanding is that they have their own factory. Everything's integrated from beginning to end, so they make their own engineering, their own stuff. These are not just blatant copies of other brands' things. They try to innovate wherever that's possible, but keeping things at a low cost. So I'll be comparing some of my top-end polishers for price in this video, so you guys kind of get an idea of what we're talking about. So when we're looking at entry level, people want things that don't necessarily cost a fortune, because you can have polishers well over the $1,000 mark at this point. If I look at my Mirka mini polisher there, I think that's close to $1,000 for a small 2 or 3 inch polisher. And there are other polishers out there as well that are very expensive, but that doesn't mean that those are the only ones that get the job done. Yes, most of them are smoother, they're more refined, built with higher quality parts, but you can definitely still get the job done with more entry level stuff. Heck, when I first started polishing, I remember it was a Porter Cable 7424 XP, which used to cost at that point $100. Today's maybe 150, but that was an entry-level polisher, and it still allowed me to do a lot of cars, and it was a workhorse and did well. Usually that's one of the polishers that the old schoolers out there remember starting off on. So Shinemate, this one here, which model is this? This is the EB351. It's a 5-inch backing plate, 15mm orbit, so large stroke. This in a kit with 2 5-amp-hour batteries, and the charger comes in at only $465 USD. That is very inexpensive. If I compare it, for example, to the newest and range topping, this is the HLR 15 cordless polisher from Rupes out of Italy. So this kit here, depending on where you purchase it from, is $735 to over $1,000 USD, depending on which website you order it from. So yes, it's amazing. Yes, it's smooth. Yes, they put a lot of engineering and technology. The ergonomics are absolutely amazing. There's only the trigger lock that I'm not a fan of, because you have to depress this button here and then activate the polisher. But yeah, they have these LED strips. I have a full review of these if you're interested, but again, the price is very steep. So for half the price, you get something like this. They were out of the 5 amp hour batteries where I ordered this from my friends over at Carzilla here in Canada. So I'm waiting for those to arrive. So right now I'm using the 2.5 amp hour batteries that came with another polisher that I'll be talking about in just a few seconds. But basically, if you have the 5 amp hour batteries that the kit normally comes with, you're looking at 45 to 60 minutes of runtime, according to the brand, and only 60 minutes of charging. I only did one test with the polishers quickly to give me a feel. So even though I wanted to keep this a true unboxing with no experience yet, I still wanted to have like kind of an initial feel. So I did a few panels with each one. And what I liked about this, it stalls, well, it doesn't stall on the curves compared to another one that I'll be talking about in just a few seconds. So the power, this is quite compact actually. The weight too is good at 1.98 kilos with battery. It's not that heavy. And the batteries, the cool thing about the new generation of Shinemate batteries, they didn't cheap out. So they use batteries with high quality Samsung cores. Samsung are known for very high quality batteries. So that's what they use in their new series. You get this indicator here for the power level. Again, you get the charger, you get 2 batteries, and yeah, look at the ergonomics. They're just great. I think they got it just right on this one. I know many of my fellow content creators have reviewed Shinemate, including my buddy Eddie Cologne from EC Details YouTube channel. Shout out Eddie. He loves testing a bunch of stuff, and I think he absolutely loves these. He uses Shinemate polishers in his professional detailing business on a day-to-day, and they just work super well. They did everything right from the design, but everything that you grab, like this grip here in the front, has this rubberized kind of feel. You get the button here or the dial for the speed adjustment. The batteries, that's the only thing on this model that I noticed. Like I have a hard time getting it out of there. So that's one thing they could maybe improve on. You really have to slide and click them in, but you get here the button on the side, the trigger lock. The trigger is nice. You get this rubberized grip. So everywhere your hands are touching, that's good. You also get this kind of rubber backing if you set it on a table or on a workbench, things like that. So yeah, this is quite impressive for the price, $465. I'm looking forward. Anybody who has tested Shinemate polishers, let me know what you guys think. It seems pretty good. $465 for this with 2 5 amp hour batteries and the charger. You can get the tool alone for under $200, but obviously you're not getting the batteries and the charger at that price. But yeah, so that's the Shinemate EB351 5-inch backing plate, 15 millimeter stroke. They also have a 21 millimeter stroke with a 6-inch backing plate. Next, another one from Shinemate, because I want to test different sizes in their range. This is the EB350. This is a, let me show you this on camera. There we go. This is a 3-inch backing plate, so a smaller polisher. $410 for the kit. Comes with a charger. Also comes with 2 2.5 amp hour lithium ion batteries, 18 volts. And again, the ergonomics, I think they got this just right. So this is a competitor, to give you an idea, to 2 other 3-inch or 2-inch polishers that are super popular out there. First of all, this is the Rupes. I have a full review. This is the HLR 75 Mini. This one costs $425 USD. So close in price, because $410, right, for this Shinemate here. So they're pretty similar in price. So we'll see what the performance is. This is a torque monster, by the way. It's just very, very loud, but ergonomics are pretty good. It's pretty lightweight, very well designed. And one of my favorite 3 or 2-inch polishers is this one here. This is called the PXE80 from Flex. This one here has a 2.5 amp hour battery as well. Costs $420 USD. What I like about this one is the quick interchange of the head. So you can use different accessories that come with it. And there you go. So this is the Shinemate once again. So this is the EB350. They make the EB351 also. That's a 3-inch, but this one is more compact in size. There's a few other differences that I'm not too sure of for the rest. But here you can see the trigger. You depress it. So this is the sound. So it doesn't get too loud and it doesn't sound cheap at all. So they seem to have done their design quite well. You get the speed adjustment here on the grip handle, and the way the batteries are put together, yeah, these seem pretty nice. So let me put the other 2 down on the floor right now, because we're going to move to another Shinemate polisher. This is their smallest one. So let me give you an idea here. So this is the Shinemate EB210 Mini. So this one here is $428 US. Comes with 2 batteries, the charger. But for this one, I decided to get the kit. So it comes in a box like this, but inside there, because the mini polishers, the important thing is the accessories that you can get with them. So let me open this up. So you get a bunch of different pads. You can get some cones depending on what you want to do for work. You get different backing plates. So I think on this one, you get a 1 inch, 2 inch, and 2.5 inch backing plates. You even get a one 12 millimeter dual action head on this one. You get 2 rotary heads as well, because you can use them as a rotary or a dual action. And this one here, so if we look at the front, this is the DA, and it's very easy to replace. You have 2 unlocking buttons on the head here that you depress, and then you simply twist and you remove, and then you can add the other one. So if I look in the box here, for example, so this is one of the rotary attachments. You would change the head to whatever attachment you want, and then boom, you lock it in, and that's it. You can change. So there's a bunch of different accessories. So I think that's pretty awesome. So if we look at here, you have your power on button, your speed adjustments, and then you can turn the polisher on using the trigger here. And that's the sound for you guys to hear. So very compact. Once again, this is the EB210 Mini at $428 USD for the kit. And the competitor to that small polisher is very well known. Also one of my favorite, depending on which backing plate you put on this, 1 inch or 2 inch. But this is the Rupes Hybrid Nano, right? This is the long neck version, so it has a longer neck. You can have rotary attachments, you can have DA attachments, different size backing plates as well. You have the trigger here, you have the speed control, the ergonomics on this one, and to get into intricate areas is amazing. But a kit with all the accessories of this, so you can have a price comparison, is anywhere from 690 USD all the way up to 960 USD. So yes, you get a lot of technology, super build quality, but the price is very expensive. So for almost half the price, you can get the Shinemate. So if you guys have tried those, well, you got to let me know. I'm very enthused from what I've seen up to now, but I'm really looking forward to doing a deep dive with these ones, because they could be it for the entry level. So in the top tier, we're looking at Flex, Rupes. In the mid tier, depending on what your preference is for brands, you'll have stuff like probably the Milwaukee, although that one is very heavy, but it's still a workhorse. But in the entry level, to mid-tier, you get things like Griot's Garage that make a lot of good ones, right? The G9 polisher is one that I really, really like. They tend to make very good tools, but it's been pretty much open for other brands to come in and to be very competitive. So price point, and from what I see now, build quality-wise and the technology of the batteries as well, Shinemate seems to be pretty good. You guys let me know. Next brand for entry-level polishers is Liquid Elements. So Matt Mormon from Obsessed Garage is bringing these in. And yeah, I think the build quality is amazing. I'm not sure about stalling. He had mentioned that this one doesn't really, or doesn't stall as much. However, in the just one test that I did on one panel that was maybe a bit more curved, or had angles, I should say, it stalled a bit. So you really have to let off the polisher. Don't apply any pressure. You shouldn't anyways, let the polisher do its job. But I think the Shinemates, especially for the price, have a bit more power and don't stall. And these tend to stall a little bit. But that's many DA machines as well, can stall. Very high quality cord. The build is nice. These are out of Germany. So this one here, more specifically, is the Liquid Elements T4000. Look at that. I think this is the latest version, which is version 2, if memory serves me well. So look at the design. Pretty awesome. So German made, German engineering behind it. I think the guy's name is Sebastian, that Matt had a conversation with. So he tries to innovate in different ways. I think my friend Eddie, though, doesn't like these as much. He has done a more thorough dive because he had more experience with these than me for now. But I mean, build quality wise, from what I see from the exterior, they look pretty good. The ergonomics are good. Very similar to the LHR 15 Mark III from Rupes as far as design is concerned. So you have this rubber grommet here, so when you lay it down on the table on a workbench. Again, 5-inch backing plate, 15mm stroke. You have the speed control right here. You get the trigger lock and you get the button. So a nice feel, nice rubberized grip here, nice rubberized grip here as well. And it's corded, so I tend to prefer cordless polishers now, especially they're getting so good. Like even in the entry-level stuff, like the Shinemate, my God, you're getting a lot of power. Runtime is no issue anymore because usually you have just as much runtime as it takes time to charge the battery. You get 2 batteries, you can cycle between them. I never had any of my cordless machines not give me enough power to do full vehicles. So you cycle between the batteries, you use the other one's charging, you get back. And so even if you're polishing for a full day, that's really no concern. So corded versions, you really have to convince me. But yeah, I'll have to put this to the test. Have you guys tried liquid element polishers? You let me know. The other one that they have in their lineup is this one here. So as you can tell, it's pretty long, 12-volt battery technology. So this is the A1000. This is version 4, so the latest version of the A1000. So this is a small one in this case. It's a 1-inch plate here for 1-inch pads, $320 USD. By the way, the T4000, so the big polisher from Liquid Elements, that's only $292. So it's the less expensive one in the bunch for a 5-inch with a 15mm stroke. So if price is of concern to you, well, you at least have to give it a try. But this one here, so for a 1-inch mini polisher, cordless, so battery technology here, I think this is a 2 amp hour, so a bit less capacity compared to the ones from Shinemate. Let me turn that around so you guys can see. But still more than enough juice in theory. The T4000, by the way, is 2.7 kilos, so heavier than the Shinemate, but different technologies. I don't know if you can really compare, but just to give you an idea. Interchangeable orbits for this one too. You get including rotary options. This one comes in a very beautiful, well-made carrying case. So again, I remind you, all this for only $320 USD for the 1-inch mini polisher. And in there, you get the instructions, you get the wrench, you get the charger, you get the extra battery, and a bunch of different 1-inch pads, and of course, different tools and brushes, and rotary attachments, dual action DA attachments, and all of that good stuff. So far, I really like the design. This one, no problems with. Let me give you an idea of what it sounds like. Speed 2. So the sound is okay, but I really like the feel. So the rubberized grip, the only thing, it's perhaps like very, very long. Let me give you an idea compared to the Rupes, and keep in mind, this is the long neck Rupes. So look at them side by side. You can see just how taller this one is, so I would have liked it to be a bit more compact. Perhaps they can shave a few inches off this, but yeah, overall, the build quality of both seems very decent. Keep in mind, again, this is entry-level stuff as far as pricing is concerned. So Liquid Elements, this, once again, is the A1000 version 4, and the other one, the bigger one, this is the T4000 5-inch 15mm. If you guys have tried any of these polishers, you let me know. Drop a comment in the description under the video. Next, we move to air fresheners and deodorizers, a brand that is new to me, but once again, my friend Eddie Cologne from EC Details, I think he had the CEO and a bunch of his employees in a podcast recently. So check that video out. But they're revolutionizing the world, not only because their stuff is pretty affordable, but because it actually works. I typically work on newer or brand new vehicles on the higher end because I do high-end details mostly, if you watch the full car details that I do, including ceramic coatings, machine polishing, all that kind of stuff. But for people working with disaster type details, or even customers who are smokers, right? And they can't get rid of all that smoke scent, or if you have pets, or if your customer has pets, for example, or just any odor that might be lingering inside there. And despite cleaning the surfaces, you need to kick it up a notch, but you're not quite ready to go to the ozone generator type machines, which are very expensive. So they are very efficient, very effective, but they're very expensive. So you would use chlorine-based kind of car bombs that we call, and appropriately, well, the brand is called bio bombs. So they have a few different vehicle deodorization or refreshing kind of things that we're going to go over. The first ones that they're known for, So are these what they call their air freshener bars. So they say that you get 60 plus days of refreshed air. So instead of a spray, these come in these packets. So there are these bars. You can break them in half or into smaller versions, and you would put them in little baggies like these. So I don't know if you can see that. Let me focus. There we go. So in little baggies. So you put them in there, you close the baggie up, and you put them under your seats, and that should refresh your interior, and you get cool scents, right? So this one here, air freshener, where do they talk about here? Fresh AF on the top. You get the new car nectar. These are all popular things. You get iced out, so different scents. So this is one way you can refresh the interior, but for heavier duty stuff, you get the next step up, which is this, the Bio Bomb. Very easy. The instructions, obviously, you got to make sure the car is cool. Never do this in direct sunlight. Close all the windows, and if you have a sunroof, close the sunroof, because this here is chlorine based. So you would open it up. Inside there, of course, you get the instructions, but more importantly, you get a little pouch like this, and this is a tablet. So you would fill the this thing here with water up to the water fill line in the back, so fill with water. You put this in the center armrest cup holder. You would put your tablet in there, you close the doors, and you let it react. And depending on how bad the odors are, 2 hours for mild odors, 6 hours for strong odors, and for extreme cases, as they see here, 12 hours to overnight. So again, chlorine based. And actually, if you read the paperwork that's in there, I think they mentioned the active ingredients. So yeah, sodium chlorite and sodium bisulfate here in the back. So this is some pretty heavy duty stuff. So once you're done using those, you got to make sure to open the windows and doors for at least 10 to 15 minutes to let all of that kind of evacuate out of there. And you should have a fully deodorized vehicle. But also what you can do if you want to boost that even more and be more efficient in speed and time, you can get the oxygenator as well. This is battery powered. They supplied the batteries in there, and you get this tube that's in here as well. So you would put the batteries inside the little machine here to activate it. And of course, you turn it on. There's a switch here up top. You would put the tube inside here, fill to the fill line with water as per usual. You drop the tablet, and this should accelerate. You can get a treatment done in just an hour with this inside there. So 1 hour to 2 hours tops. And this basically accelerates the treatment. So that should fully deodorize the interior, and it attacks the odors at the source, right? So this is much more efficient than just using an air freshener, because sometimes the odor molecules, well, they get stuck in things like seat belts, into fabrics very deep inside there, into the carpets. And as good as you try cleaning the interior, especially those who have cleaned smoker cars in their early days, like I did, we didn't have this kind of technology back then. And now it is available at an inexpensive price. So BioBombs, I think they're doing good things, and I wish them a lot of success. But if you guys have tried them, let me know. Whether you're a DIYer or a professional detailer, that'd be cool. Next up, we have from Built Hamber. So a few years ago, I did a Built Hamber brand review. One of the products was Atom Mac, but I decided to do a feature here today because I ordered even more. They probably updated the formula with this one, but this is basically a waterborne, they call it migratory anti-corrosive. See it as a spray that helps to prevent rust and corrosion from happening. So you would always dilute this depending on your usage, 2 to 5%. For vehicle use though, you would dilute it 5%. So what I do, I dilute it 5% in a spray bottle like this, Atom Mac 5%. And I like to use it as a rust inhibitor on your rotors. So if you have a vehicle with steel rotors, when you know that it happens when you're done washing your car, you rinsed it out and you get ready to dry, there's always that flash rust that happens on steel brakes, right? I was lucky with my previous Porsche 911 Turbo S, it was carbon ceramic, so I didn't have any of those issues. But now with my new Porsche Cayenne, this is the S and has steel brakes, so the carbon option wasn't available when I ordered mine. It's the new version, 2024 Cayenne S Coupe, and I couldn't get the carbon ceramics. I really missed those. So now I'm stuck with that flash rust kind of issue that we all get with steel brakes. So this is kind of similar to this, right? Hides Serum Rust Stopper. So once you're done washing and rinsing your vehicle, you'd spray this directly on your rotors, and it would help kind of prevent that flash rust from happening. But Atom Mac is very serious as well, so I'm going to be retesting this in the future and more into depth with my new vehicle and see how that works. But I remember that this was quite efficient. So once again, you're done washing your vehicle, you fully rinsed it. While it's still wet, before you dry it, you spray this directly on the rotors and you just let it air dry, and that should help to prevent a lot of that flash rust. Also, you can use this on the undercarriage and inner fender wells of your vehicle. You can spray this at 5%, so the same dilution you'd use as for your brake discs, and you spray that, and that should prevent corrosion from happening as well, because the undercarriage, a lot of things can happen there as well, especially in winter climates like we have here in Montreal, Canada. So very interesting. So once again, the product is Atom Mac from Built Hamber. They're from the UK. The owner is a chemist, so they blend their own stuff. Very bright chemist, by the way, super bright, super smart. Next, one of my favorite new brands that I tested in the past year, Armor Detail Supply. They're from the USA, and this is one of their latest products. This is the interior detailer. It's called Pilot. So if you haven't tried this and you like matte appearance like I do, so I like that OEM crisp matte appearance. So this does both. So it's an interior detailer, some light cleaning duties and add a bit of protection as well. So if you already protected all your interior with something like Carpro Pearl, for example, or you might have a coating for the interior like a DIY interior ceramic type product, you can use this for maintenance and it gives that OEM matte appearance, but pretty good for cleaning. So this one here, Pilot from Armor Detail Supply, top notch. Another one that I spoke about, I think it was on Instagram. I didn't do a specific video yet, but this is one company that took an award for the Air Fresheners of the Year in my 2023 Car Detailing Products Awards video. This is Platinum Potions from Australia, but they came out with their interior detailer. This is one of the best ones that is very easy to use because it flashes off quickly, leaves that OEM crisp matte appearance. It has that fresh barbershop fragrance that they call, so it smells very, very nice because they're pretty good with air fresheners. That's their core business, so they know what they're doing. But this one has other things in it, like UV protection, for example. While I show you this beautiful label that they have as well, it has UV protection, it's pH neutral, so safe on all interior surfaces, anti-static properties as well, 100% silicone free, and another thing, well, it's antibacterial. So there's properties in there that will help kind of lightly sanitize your interior. So this is one I truly appreciate. And if you again like that crisp OEM matte appearance, no glossy oily type finish, I hate that for interiors. So this does that to a T. OEM appearance, very, very good. Next up, I was used to their bigger gallon size that you can dilute up to 1 to 3 in a foaming pump sprayer. One of the best bug removers that's inexpensive. This one here, Bug Off from PNS, but this one here is in a ready-to-use 16-ounce format. Now, I don't see that super often, so I wonder, But yeah, they say here it's ready to use. However, it also can be diluted, so I'm assuming you can also dilute this 16-ounce. 1 to 3 is my preferred dilution in a foaming pump sprayer, but this is very efficient. If you saw my bug removal tutorial recently, especially during bug season, you want to get good stuff, and you can use G-Technic W8 V2. That's one of my favorite bug removers, and this was on the list too. So the PNS Bug Off, very inexpensive, and yes, safe on ceramic coated vehicles, absolutely no problem. If you have just a regular wax or sealant, you might want to look at the hydrophobics after you clean your car with this. So you'd start by pre-spraying with this, let it dwell a bit. It's going to soften up the bug grime, bug guts, and residual things that are on there, because acidic content of bug guts can etch through the clear coat if it's left unattended. So spray this, never work in direct sunlight, let it dwell. Then you can foam on if you're doing your pre-wash, or do the contact wash if you want to. But after this, I typically like to rinse to see whatever is left, and I can spray a little more if I want to, if the bugs or the bug guts haven't fully been removed, and then snow foam on top of that and continue with my wash process. So very, very good. Next product. From C6 Ceramics, a sister company to DIY Detail. Depending on when you're watching this video, I probably already have 1 or 2 videos showing this in action. It's a ceramic coating. It's the light version, so the one that people can actually buy. It's rated a 6-year coating, but it's the technology that's in there, guys. So you get polysilazane, silicon carbide, silicon nitride, silicon dioxide, and also refined detonated nano diamonds. So on my own 2024 Porsche Cayenne S Coupe, we applied the professional version, so C6 Hydro. That one is meant for, they say it's lifetime. We'll see how well it does in future months and in the years coming. But the light basically is the same technology. So Ivan LaCroix, the owner of C6 and DIY Detail, he says that it's basically the same formulation. They just tweaked a little bit the carriers and solvents to make sure that you get an easier experience, so you won't struggle as much with potential high spots, so an easier application, and just slightly less refined detonated nanodiamonds, but still you're getting pretty much the same performance. At least visually and hydrophobically speaking, you can tell the difference between hydro and hydro light. The only caveat, it does cost 300 USD, so it is on the expensive side, but all this technology and the time it takes to blend this, made in the USA by the way, is definitely worthwhile. One 30 ml or 1 ounce bottle, you can probably coat 1 to 2 vehicles, average size, or in my case with the larger SUV, we also did the wheels, 22-inch wheels, and the entire glass, and one bottle was enough to do an entire mid-size SUV. So probably one of the best ceramic coatings on the market right now, and you can get it for consumers. The Pro version, you can ask an authorized dealer near you if you want to have them apply it. Another new product that DIY Detail released recently is this one here. Can the camera focus? Restore and Protect. Now, we've seen some trim restores, right? So Solution Finish, to name that one that is very popular, will last anywhere from 4 to 6 months. It has a dye in it. It's the durability on that is not more than a year or two, so it's a few months. Sometimes you can stretch it out if it's a garage kept vehicle that you tried to restore the plastics on. Yeah, so it's very, very good. There's also the Cerakote Trim Restore. That is a very good one. That one can last a few years, ceramic based. But this one is new to me, at least, because they use the best of both worlds. So it's a ceramic coating, but that has a black dye in it. And a little goes a long way. Ivan recommends to just cut off an old microfiber towel, cut a 2x2 square, and then that's all you need. A few droplets of this. Of course, prep your plastics before, right? You want to clean the surface. You also want to use an APC or degreaser to degrease the surface. Even recommends using the DIY Detail Gold Standard Polish to polish the plastics. It'll exfoliate whatever remaining chips or bad old plastic or oxidized plastic that can be removed. And then you're ready to apply this. And this should technically last for a very, very long time. So if you have tried this, let me know. I know my friend Fab from the Fab Automotive Detail channel tried this, said, "Pan, this is bananas." It's pretty good. Another product from C6 Ceramics that they released is this one here. This is their Mist Detailer or Rinse Aid. So basically a light spray. This is not considered a topper really, because like Ivan said, it's not meant for long-term durability and it will not alter the hydrophobic properties of the coating underneath. This is meant more for lubrication during your drying stage if you're using a microfiber drying towel. So you can use this as a quick detail spray on dry paint once you cleaned and dried the vehicle. You can use this as a drying aid. So you would spray on a wet surface after you're done washing and rinsing your vehicle while it's still wet, and then you towel dry. Or you can use this as a spray-on rinse-off sealant. So you wash your car, you thoroughly rinse it while it's still wet, you spray on, you immediately rinse off, and that's it, you're good to go. You can blow dry your vehicle or towel dry as you wish. So 3 different methods. Comes in this 16-ounce formula, and it smells pretty good. What did he say this was? Peppermint? Yeah, this is a product that Ivan himself hand delivered to me. So we see each other quite often, actually. It's always nice to see him. I like to learn a lot from that person. And this is something I'm looking forward to testing, if you haven't seen it already yet, on my vehicle to see how this does in the real world. Next, we're moving on to Labocosmetica, an Italian brand. This is their range topping detailing products in these kinds of bottles. They redid kind of the labeling and the packaging, which looks cool. So HydroSave, I touched it on a rinseless wash video that I had done recently, but this one here is pH neutral. They say it's a polymer rinseless. So this is quite stout for a polymer. So if you like that slick feel and give a little protection, so a few weeks to about a month, this is definitely the one for you. So it's a rinseless wash. It smells amazing. The standard 1 to 256 dilution, which means half an ounce for every gallon of water. And lots of lubrication. So there's definitely those polymers in there that help with the gliding, but also that slick feel once you're done using it. So pretty stout stuff for a rinseless wash. So this is the pH neutral one. But what they did recently is they released their Preludio. So these are rinseless washes, because if you remember, I did a video on the 3 pH system that they have for the soaps, right? So they have their Semper, which is their pH neutral for your regular washes. Then they have Primus 2.0. That's their alkaline snow foam for your pre-wash to remove a bit of grime. Sorry. Sorry about that. So to remove a bit of grime and accumulated road film, and then you have their Purifica soap for either the pre-wash again or the hand wash stage, and that's an acidic soap to remove mineral deposits and water spots and those kinds of things. So they did that for the rinseless wash because the rinseless wash crowd was kind of, they were feeling that they were being left out for the pre-washes, and now you have an alkaline pre-wash called Preludio. So this is the alkaline. So pre-soak for rinseless systems, you can dilute it 1 to 5, 1 to 10, or 1 to 15, depending on how bad your stubborn issues are on the vehicle. So for light duties, 1 to 15, medium duty, 1 to 10, 1 to 5 for very stubborn stuff. So you'd put in a pump sprayer, you put that on there, you let it dwell for a few seconds or a few minutes, never work in direct sunlight, and then you neutralize with HydroSave. So you'd have to wash the vehicle with the rinseless wash afterwards with HydroSave. Now this is if you have accumulated road grime and road film, you lost a bit of those hydrophobic properties on your vehicle, that kind of stuff. And then if you have accumulated mineral deposits, you've been through winter, or for example, you know you have some light water spots that you quickly want to attend to before they start etching into the surface, they have the Preludio, but acidic version. Once again, same thing. So 1 to 5, especially if you want some heavy grime, or for wheel cleaning, for example, to remove line scale or line stains. 1 to 10 for your typical use, or 115 for light duty. But in a pump sprayer, once again, you'd pre-spray, let it dwell, and then you understood the drill. You neutralize with HydroSave, the pH neutral rinseless, or whatever neutral rinseless you guys want afterwards. So again, Preludio, the alkaline or Preludio acidic. So you have the 3 pH system available now for rinseless washes as well. I think that's pretty dope. So you're not left out. If you're sticking to using rinseless washes, you're either an apartment dweller or condo dweller, don't have access to water, or you might be in a city with water bans or water restrictions, or you simply don't have access to a pressure washer or a garden hose. The rinseless wash is a safe alternative method as long as you use common sense. If your car is caked in a thick layer of mud, do not do the rinseless on it, or at least pre-rinse at that stage and then do the rinseless wash, right? Common sense. You don't want all that grit. Same thing, you wouldn't do the contact wash with soap on a super muddy car. You would pre-rinse that first, right? So that is the same with rinseless washes. Use common sense. Some cool gadgets that often people ask me about that I have are these. These are called Pro Blend. They're bottle proportioners. You can get them in different sizes. These are for taller bottles. As you can see, they make them in different colors. And what these allow to do is, let me give you an example, is if you put them, you have a big bottle like this O&R V5, the rinseless wash. You can have your Pro Blend on there. You adjust which quantity you want. For example here, because we often use ½ an ounce for every gallon of water, right? So you can set that here to ½ an ounce. This diaphragm moves up and down. So once you set which quantity you want, you squeeze the product, and you can see it goes into there. It sucks back whatever it doesn't need, and it stops at what you set it at. And then you put the cap, you pour it inside, and you get the perfect quantity every single time without having to bust out measuring cups. So you can have many of these on your bottles right away, and you're good to go. So I think that's pretty interesting. So I think that pretty much does it, yeah, for all the tools, products, and equipment. Again, which ones are your favorite ones? Which ones do you want me to test in priority? Let me know. Drop a comment in the comment section. And if you've tried any of these, including the polishers, the deodorizers, or any of these chemicals, let me know what your thoughts, what your user experience is. Drop comments. It's important to start these conversations so we know what's going on and we kind of get a feel of what you guys like, what you don't like, and hopefully brands read the comments as well. I know they do. That's the power of the Pan the Organizer family. We're over 1 million plus subscribers now on this channel. You've made this one of the top detailing channels on YouTube, so I have you to thank for. So we caught the attention of pretty much all the major brands. Any brand out there, if they want to improve, they come on the channel, they read your comments, and hopefully they can take those into consideration to continuously improve their stuff. I remind you that I'll leave the links to all this tools, products, and equipment in the description under the video for you guys to check them out. And in the meantime, don't forget, keep it tight, keep it clean, and I'll see you all on the next one.